back. You're watching Overdrive. Lamborghini has been steadily upping its presence in India since the VW-owned supercar maker launched its India sales operation in 2013. It started the new year with a bang, launching the 2013 version of the Lamborghini Gallardo. Sandeep Srikanth got his hands on that supercar to bring you this story.
Now, in the years that I've worked with Overdrive, I've driven a lot of cars, some not so fancy, really down-to-earth cars, and I've been lucky enough to drive a lot of fancy, earth-shattering supercars. But very few of those cars have actually managed to make me go weak in the knees. But this is one of those cars. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the all-new for 2013 Lamborghini Gallardo, and today I'm lucky enough to drive it here at the Bodh International Circuit. And really, won't this car make you go weak in the knees?
The Gallardo is one of the most iconic sports cars of our times, with over 13,000 cars having hit the road since it was first launched a decade ago. But with Lamborghini working on a much anticipated replacement expected to wow us sometime in the next few years, this new 2013 edition could well be this astonishing car's last hurrah. And what a way to go! The designers have given the Gallardo the latest Lamborghini styling treatment with its now signature LED lamps front and rear and an even more raked and angular air dam. But the bits that really make bystanders go wow are the new for 2013 Apollo wheels that take your breath away, whether the car's standing still or on the move. Lamborghini India has two versions of the Gallardo for us to try out at the Bodh International Circuit. The rear-wheel drive LP552 and the more hardcore Superleggera LP574. The choices we have to make, I tell you.
Now, the LP552 can be called the entry-level Gallardo, but more importantly, it is also the purest Gallardo. This is the Gallardo that is perhaps truest to the original essence of what Ferruccio Lamborghini wanted to create. Massive engine, really small, lightweight aerodynamic car, and strictly rear-wheel drive.
The rear-wheel drive Lambo is the entry-level Gallardo, if one can ever call a car costing over 2 crores entry-level. And even though it sports the same 5.2-litre V10 petrol engine, its max power rating is 550 horsepower, while the top tops out at 540 Newton-meters. But here on a racetrack, with the still epic engine driving only the rear wheels, it's more than enough grunt for anyone.
Fourth gear, 160. Fifth gear, 8000 RPM, 220. And now all the way up to 260 kilometers an hour before you have to brake to ensure that you're going to make it into the corner. The acceleration is lightning quick, and the gear changes. The way every gear change hits you, now that impact is absolutely visceral. And the surprising thing about the LP552 is also the fact that despite it only being rear-wheel drive, the amount of grip that you have on offer on the racetrack right now is pretty staggering.
The Bodh circuit is one of Formula One's newest venues, and even though the long back straight lets you pretend you're an F1 driver, the sharper technical sections can catch you out in an instant. But hook a sequence of corners together, step hard on the gas at the exit, pull a finely machined pedal, and you can't help but imagine that you're a driving god.
You can drive it, you can push it to as far as my personal limit is, and the car is absolutely stable, absolutely in control, and it lets you pretty much do what you want. And it's only when you really drive like a moron that you could probably get into some kind of trouble. But the fact is also, when you're driving something that's this gorgeous, that's this fast, and sounds this amazing, the tendency to try and act like a moron, well, that happens pretty often. So now we're just cooling our brakes, heading back in after a series of hot laps, and it's time to jump over to the really special Gallardo.
The Gallardo Superleggera first debuted in 2007, offering buyers who wanted even more madness, a lighter and purer supercar. Only 172 first edition Superleggeras were built, and so when the Gallardo was refreshed in 2008, it was only a matter of time till the new Superleggera arrived in 2010.
Now all of Lamborghini Superleggera cars obviously have a little bit more horsepower. So in this case, this car is up from 560 PS to 570 PS. But more importantly, it's a lot lighter and a lot meaner. So it gets this special, massive rear wing to boost downforce, and it also has these beautiful little touches to the interior, the kind of leather that's used to wrap the steering wheel and in various other bits and bobs around the car. But more importantly for me today, this car also has Lamborghini's four-wheel drive system on, and I'm jumping into the Superleggera immediately after driving the LP552, so that will give me a good idea of just what the four-wheel drive system brings to the table.
The current Superleggera is more than 70 kilos lighter than the stock Gallardo, thanks to extensive use of carbon fiber. The V10 engine produces even more power, 570 horsepower, and revs to 8,000 RPM. And the gut-wrenching acceleration, as all that power hits tarmac through the four-wheel drive system, really does plaster your spine to the back of the stiffer and well-bolstered sports seats. Even though I wasn't really attempting to drive at 10/10ths, the increase in grip and precision instantly produced better corner speeds. But the biggest surprise was the braking. Stepping up as I was from the 552, the Superleggera allowed me to brake harder and later into corners before blasting out again and lining up for the next sequence. Automotive nirvana indeed.
Wow, a drive like that usually leaves one speechless, and especially so when you're driving something that's quite as epic as a Gallardo. Believe me, until you drive a Lamborghini fast on a racetrack, you will not get what I'm talking about. The sensory overload is almost complete and total. And really that is what Lamborghini is all about. Outrageous, Italian and complete sensory overload. And really, if you can afford this car, why wouldn't you want one?
Sandeep Srikanth, you're one lucky guy. On that note, it is time for us to wrap up Overdrive for this week. Remember, you can catch the highlights of our show on our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Twitter. Till next week from the entire team, goodbye, thanks for watching, happy and safe driving.